What's up guys, it's here. So today we're going to be doing the unboxing of the Precision Raceworks coil packs for the N54. All right, so opening the box, we have some wire loom protectors. Right here you have your actual coil packs. So it's just a normal style coil pack. As you would see on the N54, you have that little triangle thing that slots in and seals it. Right here you have, you know, your mounting hardware, just some screws and bolts. And then here you have your adapters. This is your mounting bracket. So on their website, you can decide if you want to have it in the stock location. You can have it over by your fuel injectors, or there's another mounting setup, I believe, but I can't remember off the top of my head where that one's located. We'll get started by opening these boxes and showing obviously where most of the price comes into play. These do run you about $400 to $500 depending on where you get them and if they're on sale or not. I'm gonna do it with one hand, it's a little difficult. They are bigger in person than I thought. So this little pin right here will go into the end of the coil pack right here. So that will hook onto this. And then, as I was saying, this connector here will plug into here, and then this end will go into your car. So installation seems pretty straightforward. I'm gonna get my car down here and then see how we're gonna mount these. So I'll also be doing a review on this gauge cluster and this head unit soon, so stay tuned for that. Also, let me know if you'd want to see like an interior review on basically everything that I've done in the interior of the car. You know, I've done a decent amount in here just to kind of make it more livable. Here she is. All right, so everything's laid out. These are here, coil packs there. I have my wires here and the tubing there. So I'm gonna start by plugging the ends of these into here on all of them. All right, so now I have all of these connected. So I'm gonna start by unplugging my stock coil pack. So you really just pull up on these and it'll push that out, and then you just pop that off, pull the coil pack out, it'll be some vacuum on it. And there's also these little metal sleeves, which I believe you will not be reusing. I mean, unless you really want to. I believe they'll still fit over these. Yeah, so maybe I will reuse these. I'm not sure if you're supposed to or not, but I probably will. All right, so all the coil packs are out. The wires, you know, kind of just sit where they're supposed to go. I realized I only have 4 of these metal shields, so I'll just put the 4 metal shields, you know, at the areas close to the hot side of the turbo. So the first 4 cylinders, I'll put those in, and I guess the last 2 should be fine, because I plan on putting like some type of... All right, so I was checking how these mount. And also, side note, don't worry about the filter. I took that off just to inspect the turbo. The flat bottom part goes right here like that, and then the rounded part will stick up out like that, if that makes any sense. So I'm gonna get these mounted up on this bracket and then figure out how the bracket goes into the car. So I have 3 of them on here so far. I have the flat, like edge to edge part on, I guess, the upper side. And then the rounded part is towards the bottom where, you know, that part curves in, if that makes any sense. But so I'm just kind of condensing the amount of different pieces and stuff before I put it on the car. That way I don't mount it and then have to add parts on the car itself. So you only really need 1 wrench just to tighten this bolt. The other side will get held in place by that little square. So that's what I'm doing now. All right, so just like that, they're all mounted up. I'm gonna set this down. This is pretty heavy with all of them on there. I'm missing a bolt. I'm not really sure where this bolt went, but yeah, I'm gonna be looking for that in the process of getting this mounted in the car and figuring out how I'm gonna run the wires and coils and everything like that. All right, so all the coil packs are mounted in. So these will slip in just like the OEM coil packs. It'll just pop, like you just push, it'll go right on the spark plug, and then this little nub here will fit inside of this little gap, and that's what will stop it from kind of twisting around. So they clicked on pretty good. They feel pretty solid. So now I'm going to work on getting these hooked up to the OEM connectors and getting this bracket mounted. All right, so in order to install these, this bracket is going to go this way. So these little tabs there will be going down, and it's going to slide in underneath this harness here, which is already loose on my car because I've been in here a lot, as you can see. But so you're going to lift this up, kind of fold it up as much as you can. This will slide in and line these holes up with these OEM mounting points here. So I'll get that in there and show you guys kind of how I did it. All right, so before I get this in, I'm still not sure where that bolt went, but I found it easier to take the wires off for now, just so you have less stuff kind of interfering as you're sliding in there. But apparently my car never came with it when I bought this, but there is a little bracket down here that you're gonna have to remove. It holds some of these looms in place. As you can see, I probably could use some heat wrap for these wiring, but yeah, so you're gonna pry that off. It just clips in down in there. There's little slots and bolts that it'll clip into place. But yeah, so you want to mainly just pick up on this wiring loom here as much as you can without breaking anything, and just slide this in there. And then these will, I mean, mine are facing the wrong way, but these are supposed to mount directly onto this. All right, so I have this up as much as I can right now, and as much clearance as possible down through here, because that is where you're gonna slide this. So like I was saying, make sure that these tabs are facing up. These ones right here, make sure they're facing up. So when you slide this in, the connector should be on the left. But yeah, I'm gonna work on just kind of wiggling it through in there and getting those two bolt holes to line up. And yeah, so that would not fit in because I have the turbo here. So they have the stock location mount and the intake manifold mount. If you have a single turbo, get the intake manifold mount, because the whole bracket and shit won't fit in here. So I just have it zip tied in there onto the fuel rail for now until I figure out like a better route for it. But yeah, that's basically it.